viewers. Some of you are already on here waiting. Guys, if you're seeing this, you might want to fast forward a little bit. We're just going to make sure everybody can hear us. We are having some technical difficulties lately. It looks like you guys found your link to the new show.
What would it be without technical difficulties
I know.
on
I'm like,
webinar night?
Becky, if we're a little late, the members will understand because it seems like we're always having technical difficulties. This is not what we do, guys. We grow food and make movies. We don't.
YouTube, yes, Quentin, you are in the right place. YouTube must have just like changed it. Maybe Cindy can say, yeah, they did.
Actually, Cindy, what encoder do you use to go live on YouTube? Nobody else is going to know what in the heck we're talking about, but this is pre-show. So, Cindy, what encoder do you use? We used, what's the name of it, Rebecca?
Wirecast.
We'll look into OBS. We used Wirecast, and either them or YouTube changed something, and we're not able to do it anymore. And we already paid our $500 for the year, so we're like, maybe we'll be getting our money back on that.
Okay, so how do I get...
Anyway, we're going to have a good show. We don't have very many questions, so if you guys... She says OBS is free. So maybe we'll look into OBS. And I imagine I've seen her use it before, so you can use multiple camera. Can you call somebody in, like send somebody a link, and they click on that link, and you can see them on the show? I mean, that is kind of a cool thing that we were looking forward to using with Wirecast. We never got, well, we used it with Al.
We did use it with Al.
But we would like to use it with some of you guys.
Yeah, we had like plans.
Free is nice, but you do get what you pay for sometimes.
I will say this: we had like all sorts of big plans. So I'm gonna call them during business hours because they're not open on Sunday night.
Are we the only ones working today?
No,
That's what my dad used to say.
Other people.
Hey, are we the only ones working today? We'd be hauling wood through town. Everybody'd be fooling around.
There was a guy today in front of me had wood in the back of his truck, and I thought, he's working today.
There we are. We'd be driving around. Everybody'd be going shopping, and we'd have a load of wood in the back. It used to make us feel so proud. So, guys, are Rebecca and I the only ones working today? We worked our tails off today. What did you guys do today?
These are not cookies. It is
Are they Thin Mints?
Somebody
thinks you're on the Girl Scout cookies.
They are these. So they're Heavenly Organics.
This is a dark chocolate sweetened with honey, y'all.
Actually, it's unsweetened chocolate with honey on the inside and then some peppermint.
I know Cindy would be working.
Good.
Adam Link.
Cindy worked.
You must have been watching football. Worked 8 hours on their regular work. Go for it. And they look delicious. We have a free shipping thing going for online sales.
Somebody said today is their day of rest.
Oh, yes. You got your chat right there. But I guess I should look here, and then it looks like I'm looking at everybody. All right. Hey, Ken's in. Oh, Ken's been to Durham.
Wow.
Care to share? Care to share what you're doing in Durham?
Oh, it's not Cindy. It's Mike.
Oh, Mike. Mike's piping in. Okay. I guess I don't necessarily need to. Okay, you guys think if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We'll address them. Not too many questions submitted beforehand.
Oh, it is Cindy.
Like 7. Okay.
Cindy's talking about herself in the third person. Anyways.
It's Mike's webpage. Yeah, she's doing some work for Mike, honey. She's getting him some pasta. Link your pasta sale. Come on, Cindy. People are getting hungry.
Oh, did you sale?
Seeing you talking about
did. We have a free shipping thing going for online.
There you go. You gotta link that. You can't say free
Cindy,
shipping and then
put the link up.
Not let these people go buy your pasta. So
Hello,
anyway,
Steve. Somebody was doing meal prep today.
Somebody made Christmas cookies. Ooh. Somebody had more fun than we had.
I wanna make Christmas cookies.
Oh, how to deworm pigs. So what we did to deworm pigs or to prevent it in the first place was feed them charcoal. So we just thrown in burnt branches from a burnt pile. So there's Cindy's link. So when I was at Polyface, I said, what did you ever do to do any maintenance or health issues on pigs? The only thing they ever do is give charcoal. And you can make it yourself. Big Family Homestead seemed to have a great video on how to make charcoal. I never did try it, so I can't vouch for it, but I'm gonna try it. It's called Big Family Homestead charcoal. Just ask Mr. Google
you were
Pants
gonna
for that.
make the charcoal?
I was gonna try his method, and I hope to do that, especially now that we're getting pigs. Adam did give you my pumpkins is a good dewormer. We fed a lot of pumpkins. The pumpkin seed is the actual dewormer there. I heard that milk, raw milk, is a good dewormer, and we were feeding that apple
We
cider
did.
vinegar. So
Also, sometimes we did. I don't know if we did it with the pigs that we just had, but we did it with the guinea hogs, and we did the Land of Havilah dewormer.
so
We
Quentin
just
wants,
followed the directions on that.
Quentin wants to go our favorite YouTube channels. You might be surprised. As a YouTuber, you don't have much time to watch YouTube channels. So if we have time, I wish Casey Neistat would post more often because I love his style. He has nothing to do with farming. It's the complete opposite, but it stretches me for style and creativity with his storytelling and edits, and it really pushes, and his work ethic, it really pushes me. So he doesn't upload maybe once a month, so we can keep up. And but we're watching it mainly to study, just to see the techniques, and we got on a Mr. Beast run a little while ago to Rebecca's chagrin.
I know.
Because
I'm
they
not
pick
a
on
huge-
Chandler.
They don't.
Anybody
they,
in here watch Mr. Beast?
They pick on Chandler, and I don't like that. I
Did-
don't want my kids to think that they can pick on people.
But
like,
did
I
it-
don't feel like I don't want them to think that is like okay to like have somebody in the group of friends that they can pick on. So, anyways,
Did he redeem you when
he planted.
he
20
planted?
million
He tried planting 20
he
million
did.
trees.
I still wish that they would. And if I ever could see Mr. Beast, I would tell him, "Could you please stop?" Because I don't want my
Picking
kids.
on Chandler, not planting
Yeah,
trees.
yeah, no,
Keep
no,
the trees
picking
going.
on Chandler. So.
You know what? Forever Homestead. There was a while there I did storyboard my YouTube channel, my YouTube videos. I would treat it like a documentary, and the day before I would write out what I need to do the next day, and maybe how I might shoot that. So I might have a shot list. I would actually storyboard it, going through a sequence. I had the 4 P's. So a good story is. I hope I can always remember this now. 'Cause
Hold
it's
on,
been a while.
somebody wanted to know. This is kombucha.
Let me see if I hope I can remember these 4 P's.
It's not beer.
So when I do, and if I have a special movie or a story or a micro, I would just call it a short film that I want to do, I would go through the 4 P's, which is a problem. So there has to be a problem to overcome. And one thing that I don't storyboard most of my vlogs, but when I'm out trying to do something, I think one thing that helps is that if we're going to move the sheep, you're often tempted not to film, oh man, where's the hammer? Where's the hammer for driving in the grounding rod? You're often you're tempted not to film that. But that's actually the problem. And that's actually what makes things interesting is the character has problems to overcome. So the character, he wants something, and there's going to be problems to overcome. So then hold on, let me write this out to make sure I get this right. Rebecca, you answer some questions or
Okay.
something. I don't want to jack this up.
Okay, so Wolf was just saying that we've been hugely inspirational and motivational for him to find things to heal himself and keep pushing forward. And so I was just going to write an encouraging word to you, Wolf. You can get better, and you're going to get better, and it's going to be amazing. And food and other natural things is going to be a part of that. So I just want to say you can do it. All right.
You know what? I'm not going to be able to remember the P's, but the 4 basic points are that the character has to have a goal. He has to have something he wants.
Well,
she wants.
that person said that
They
you hide
want.
Mr. Brown's shoes on purpose. I wish that was. I wish that
I
was
can't
true.
make this up. But that's a good point, is the Mr. Brown stuff. So that is certainly unscripted, and that is when you see the Mr. Brown shoes, those are not storyboarded. But that is we want something, and that's usually to go out and milk the cow or go out and move the animals, or this time of year, one of those 2 things, or get ready for pigs. Mr. Brown's shoes missing is actually a problem. Okay, the Lord of the Rings wouldn't be good if Frodo didn't have to overcome so many obstacles to get that ring destroyed, right? And if you just saw the good parts all the way there, it wouldn't be a good story. But since we're filming every day,
Wow.
there's not always epic problems to overcome. Like if we don't destroy this all these enemies, preventing us from destroying this ring, the world's going to end. No, it's like we don't have these
Hey,
epic
Scott.
problems every day.
Scott's
So we're sure to highlight the everyday problems, but you guys relate to that because you have everyday mundane problems as well, and it may not be your 5-year-old's shoes missing.
Adam
It might be
says
something
shoes
else.
and potty breaks.
So anyway, the character wants something. The character then makes a plan. So sometimes you'll see me in the video say, you know, we're going to do this and this and this. This is the plan. And then there's the phase. So then you're working through that plan, but you got to show the problems. If you're vlogging, if you're doing textbook instructional videos, you tend to leave that kind of stuff out, and that's fine. But if you're vlogging and trying to show reality, you're tempted to put the camera down during the problems, but that's when you need to be up in your game and make sure you're capturing that during the problems, which can be some of the most difficulty. And then the phase of it, and then the result. You either hopefully you have a happy ending, and you can emphasize that, or not.
You can keep talking.
Okay. So let's go into the questions. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's go to the first question. Is the Beautiful Life going to post new videos? That's for you, Rebecca.
Oh, well, hey. I want to. I want to start doing videos again.
Really?
I do. I have. Well, we talked. Remember, I wrote out a plan. I feel like I want to have a plan though, and so I feel like I need to like figure out what I'm doing. I don't want to just start making videos because I feel like if I do that, then and I don't have a plan, then it's not gonna actually. I'm not gonna continue making videos. So I feel like I need to like have a vision for what I want my channel to be, because it's definitely changed from what I started it out to be. I mean, it's always been about like what I'm doing, but yeah, it's just different now what I'm doing. So I have some ideas as to like what I want to do and all of that, but maybe in January. I'm not promising anything.
Are you more likely to start vlogging on our channel or make your own videos?
No, I want to start vlogging again. It's just been, I would say like just with everything going on, it's just been, I haven't been as active outside because I've had to be doing things inside more for like the month of November, because November's been a little bit intense with everything happening in our personal life. So that's why I want to vlog too. Like I want to vlog on your channel too. Like I don't want to just, I'm not going to vlog on my channel. It's not like I'm going to do a vlog on my channel. My channel is going to be more like sit down videos
I understand.
and sharing things
Yeah.
about like things about health and non-toxic living and food and stuff like that. I'm just trying to formulate the plan in my head.
For sure, Adam. That'd definitely be what it would be about. It'd be a
Yeah.
before it was a
That's
cooking
gonna
show,
be
and now it would be a
huge.
health show.
Yeah.
And people can benefit from what you have to say, Becky, but whenever the time's right for you, babe. Good evening, David Jackson. Welcome. Linda Taylor, hello. Amy, she loves it when you vlog. I do too. It mixes it up. It's nice. Okay.
I know. Well, I hope that I can get back in the vlogs. Today, just we've been working really hard the last 4 days at Justin's dad's house. So Wednesday through Saturday, we worked at
Cleaning-
least 4 hours a day, if not longer. Like Saturday, we went longer, and I want to say
Cleaning
Friday
out
we went
all
longer.
his junk.
Yeah,
So do any of you here, have you ever had to clean
it was
out
crazy.
your deceased parents' junk? Dollar bills if Rebecca vlogs. You hear that,
So anyways,
Rebecca?
I want to say that the reason I was like, I went on a
Yeah.
date with Josiah today and I didn't vlog it. Justin put the camera
I
in.
even put it in your purse.
He put it in my purse and I didn't vlog because I was with Josiah and I just kind of wanted to be with him and I didn't want to think about it.
Yes. Now there is
So,
that point. I
it
will
was-
give you that point, Rebecca. And some people say, you get caught in the okay, and that may be who you are, and some people are that way, and some people don't understand when I'm capturing those moments. But the thing for me is, and my personality is, I want to capture those moments because then I have them forever.
Yeah, that's true.
So if I have a sweet moment with Gideon and it was all natural, there was no, I totally caught it in that moment. I can go watch that and it's amazing. I'm glad I captured that. The stuff I captured with my dad, absolutely amazing and very meaningful and has helped me grieve certainly more than if I wasn't doing that. So people are piping in on the hoarding. Cindy is dreading it because her
Yeah.
parents are hoarders. My dad, it was weird cleaning out. Hold on, let me get Scott's question here. Well, you can relate Scott's question in a minute. My dad, I guess he was a hoarder.
He was
He
not a
cleaning out
hoarder.
stuff.
He was not a hoarder. I would say this because, like,
Well, what's a hoarder?
Your sister and I were talking about this.
Gosh.
And he was not a hoarder. He did not let anything go. I feel like
Oh, he didn't seek out
he
collecting
didn't
stuff.
like. Okay, so like, I feel like a hoarder would be like keeping like plastic bags in every
Yeah.
newspaper. Like, he did throw some stuff
See,
away.
Jake Emerson says everything has a purpose. With my dad, he didn't, and that's what was weird about cleaning him out. Like, somebody said, is this hard for you? Well, no, because this empty paint can didn't really mean anything to him. All these books, he never read them. He just thought they were valuable, and he thought he was going to sell them at some point.
Yeah, and like,
His shoes were hard to throw away. Had a
Yeah.
moment trying to throw away his Crocs. His jacket, his puffy jacket. It's not like we didn't throw that one away. That one went to the Goodwill, or the Salvation Army. My dad didn't like the Goodwill. Apparently.
no, he didn't.
Did your family give you any hard time for vlogging at Dad's
No,
funeral?
I don't think they did.
No, I'm very respectful about that.
Yeah, we don't.
That's perhaps why you don't see my family, is because I'm not going to put them in that place. It's not fair. That's why you only saw me at the funeral.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to ask them. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, we
So-
have we did the whole funeral, like, we have it on filmed. So like, if anybody wants it, we can give it to them. But we didn't we didn't
Yep.
we didn't
It even
want
went
to like
live.
we didn't want to publish it like for everybody.
It went
to
unlisted
see.
live so that people, our family in California, could watch it. Mom, you might want to catch up.
Yeah.
Boy, this is a lively conversation here, guys. We don't even need any pre-questions. You guys are a lively, live bunch.
At Missy at Shore Homestead, that is 100% Justin's dad. She says, I feel like the World War II generation really held on to stuff just in case. My grandma was like that and my mom the same way, trying to learn to be different. It's so true. Like, that was totally that. Like, he had so many things that it was like a just in case, or a when I get to it, I'm going to fix this up or whatever. But then, like, your sister and I worked together a lot, and we were kind of like, why did
Well,
we keep this?
we went away from that saying everything, it needs to mean something to us. We need to love what we own, or it's very useful, or it's very useful. And I feel that we're that way. Golly, how many dumpsters did we have in the last 2 years since we came back from the Great American Farm Tour and called this place our home?
We've thrown
We
out
started cleaning out the trash.
8, 9,
and
10
if we were to
dumpsters.
die right now, it would be hard for our kids to clean it out because everything
Well,
would be
they're-
useful
yeah.
or meaningful to us. And it would be an emotional process for them. And there would be very little to throw out.
Yeah, because like the stuff that I do have is not junk. Like, it's actually
Yeah.
worth something.
But we're not the World War II generation. You guys
No.
are bringing on some good conversation. Thank you, Cindy, and everybody else for contributing to the conversation here, making it 2 ways. This is great.
Yeah.
Tina Noose was asking about the beautiful life. Okay, we answered that. Is there an approximate cutoff age to growing a pig? Will it lose its flavor or texture if it is old? I don't know that answer to that. Cindy, do you know the answer to that? Mike, is he around? Mike might actually know the answer to that. So I know, like with chickens, they get stringy and they're tough, and you have to long cook them.
I mean, maybe if
but
it
I
was,
don't know if that happens to a pig. So
See,
can
like-
you eat an old sow? Or would you try to turn it into sausage?
I'm not 100% sure because, like, I know with
I didn't catch that
cattle,
comment.
it can be like when they're 8 years old, it can be a little tough, like with a bull, like an old bull. Remember
Yeah, for
Max?
sure.
They ate Max.
So you might just make that a hamburger.
And she
But I don't
said
know about
that-
pigs. So maybe Cindy is Mike around?
see.
Ask him.
Let's see.
So ask Mike if pigs are like chickens and beef if they get weird after getting a certain age.
I know that like even with the fast growing pigs, like I wonder because Ashley and Decker when they did it,
Ben had
they-
some old wild hogs that were tough.
they let their pigs grow too long. Like it had so much fat on it, and but it was
pasture
the meat
pigs.
wasn't bad. The meat wasn't bad. So yes, we are hoping to do the Idaho pasture pigs still, depending
Now
on
that's a hope.
you know, availability
A local
of them
breeder
at
said
a
they were in
local
the
breeder.
spring,
Yeah,
and-
so we're like on the list, but sometimes things
We're not
don't
gonna
work
promise
out.
anything there.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely something we would like to try and see how things are different with them.
All right.
Do we plan on getting ducks? I don't think so. Maybe some meat ducks. I think.
What
that's it.
What projects are you working on for the winter? I think Forever Homestead. We just looked up online Idaho pastured pigs, and eventually you'll get the official directory, and you'll get a breeder's list, and just go through that for the different states. The Idaho pasture pig is a breed, and it's been mixed with Kuni, which is a slow-growing, smaller pig. But it's been mixed with faster growing pigs, so it matures in 9 months. It's ready to be harvested in 9 months, as opposed to the fast growing pigs at 6 or 7 months, versus the slow pigs at like 14 months. So it's kind of like that in the middle, and it's supposed to be really good on surviving on pasture. We might not get too excited about it if it actually doesn't till, because we want pigs right now for tilling. So it may be something we have to look into more before we even get them. And like right now, these pigs we're gonna get this week are epic tillers, and we're gonna have them in the winter and the ground's gonna be extra soft, and they're gonna be doing a really good job really fast. What was that other question? I missed it before the Idaho pasture pigs.
What projects are you working on?
Oh,
for the
projects.
winter?
So we are very excited about this stage that we're in, guys, because we have our sheep, we have our cows, we have our animals. Save adding turkeys next year, which we already have this turkey shell built, and we're excited about the stage of smoothifying everything, getting the lanes smooth, making the chores quicker by making things faster and improving things and just fine-tuning these systems. That's the stage we're going into. So we need to work on our lanes. Our lanes are getting the cows and the sheep out to the properties. I think that would be a good winter project. Maybe planting the garden for the first time in a couple of years, actually sitting down and writing out the year plan for the garden. I think that's all that we would say for now as far as the plan goes. You guys did mention ducks, and that's interesting. Because do we like duck? Would we rather have ducks or turkeys? Would you rather eat a duck or a turkey?
Probably
once a
turkey
month.
right now.
Okay, let's go with turkey. But it won't take much for us to do ducks either.
I know. I think that we could even run
'cause we
some
do that
ducks
in the meat
with
shawl.
with the Cornish cross. Is my plan.
That'd be interesting.
Is just putting some in there.
They make such a
And-
mess though
Yeah, I know.
for the chickens.
I know. Somebody want to know if we've thought about adding a solar power system on the homestead. And so
I
we've
guess we
thought
have
about
thought
it,
about it.
but the thing is that it's so expensive to do that in like
Takes so long to get your money
it
back.
would take so long to get your money back.
And
there is some EMF issues there as well. And
yeah.
So I would have to research that, depending on
Yeah.
what that came of it. And that's just hearsay. Like it's just like things that I've heard here and there that there could be some of that issue off of it. And we do try to be, we try to have less EMF
Yeah.
stuff going on.
And for the
here,
10,000 plus it would cost to do solar power,
Oh, it would be more than that.
it would take
Our
us
bus
forever to
was
recover
like
our money on
8.
that. And for us, our big expense as Epic Meat Eaters is clean meat. So it made sense for us to invest in the meat growing on our farm, to put money into that instead of solar, because we're talking about if the power bill, even with all our fridges and freezers, is only a couple $100 a month
The thing is
versus
this,
a couple $1,000s a month if we were having to buy our clean meat.
and somebody said something about a water wheel in conjunction with the overflow water to generate energy, and I think that all those ideas are great, but
They're wonderful.
we are not like super technical, and
We hired
it
that
would
out.
be
It's
very
expensive.
difficult for us, well, one, to find somebody that we trust to actually do a good job. Two, finding that person. Because like people have come to us and said, oh, this would be such a good idea. And I'm like, do you know how to do that? And they're like,
Do you know
I'm
where to
like-
go for that?
yeah. So it's like, while I would love to have something like that, it would be a huge project. And I think there's so many other, like the smoothifying of like our
Well-
animal production system is is more important to us at this
Yes.
point than taking our electric bill down.
Like right now in Violet Pastures, Adam's gonna bring up the roads love the grid. Well, it's a lot cheaper to we're saving a lot more money focusing on growing food, investing into
Yeah.
the growing of the food than investing into alternative energy at this point.
See, Cheryl's in Australia, and she said cost of electricity is so high that it makes
Yeah,
solar
see?
more it makes
So
it
cheap
more
here.
attractive.
And
And see, and then Nick says, worry about the maintenance of solar power items. See, and I think that's it, is that like, when we bought the bus, Justin and I were really nervous about the mechanical aspect of the bus. And we were able to learn it, but it was also like a huge, huge, huge stressor, I think, to both of us. And there was like some things that we could repair, the belts, but then there was other things that we couldn't, like that little thing that went on the thing. I mean, I can't. That's
Well,
how technical it is. Like
that
the thing
is.
that went on the thing underneath the bus, and we had to pay someone to do that. So it's
well, down
kind
in
of-
Violet's pasture, the lane through there is muddy, and it's muddy during the
Yeah.
winter. And we have water coming through a culvert, going into the pasture, and it doesn't leave. So there's some work to be doing from some earthworks, getting that water from that valley onto the ridges with some subsoilers or keyline plows, and then there's some, or maybe even swells or a pond, and then there's work to maybe gravel these areas, or I even had these ideas that out at the water where the cows come back to, having a shed and do deep bedding there, because there's a lot of manure falls there, and the cows don't move from there for 2 or 3 weeks sometimes because they backtrack to the water. They get a new pasture every day, but they backtrack to the water and the manure is just laying there. So why not half grazing system, half deep bedding system, where we have a shed and deep mulch, and there's things like that that maybe should be higher on the priority list. Anyway, let's go on to the next question.
Okay, hold on.
'cause
I'm gonna
we're-
say this.
we got-
Adam Link's neighbor paid $45,000 for his solar. Just can't
Yeah.
even imagine.
And when I was getting my permaculture design certificate at Jeff Lawton's farm in Australia, we had a solar guy come in, and one thing he talked about is it really sustainable? Because the amount of energy it took to actually create the solar panels and then to maintain them, is it really the definition of sustainable? That's for some individual to wrestle with. You guys have heard our wrestle, and you see where we've come, and we're very much looking at the numbers, and we've found our priorities, and we've gone with it.
And I don't want anyone to, the person crazy 77 was like, thanks for, talking about it. And it's not like, just because it's not right for us right now, doesn't mean that it's not going to be right for us in the future. It doesn't mean that it's not right for somebody else in their current situation. It's just like, we've really thought about it. I mean, it has been, and we did the solar on the bus, so we have like a little bit of like experience with it, but not like, I have enough experience to know that like it was way over my head. What I did learn from it was intense for me, and so
Yeah. Let's keep going through these. Make notes of any of these questions. I just want to make sure we get through the questions that were asked beforehand because we're gonna have to wrap it up by 8 o'clock. Rebecca, do you have any videos on how you press milk for separating to make cultured cream? Can you just go search your channel and see if you made those videos, or do you know?
I don't.
Actually, it's so easy.
I don't know if I've ever.
Well, we didn't do a cream
made
separating
cream
video.
separating video.
You can tell them right now how to make cultured cream.
So I bought a cream separator, an electric cream separator, and then you just follow the directions.
That's it.
So, cause like so the cream separator, you have to heat up the milk to like 100-ish degrees, and then you just pour it in, and the machine does all the work, and then when you have the cream, you just take, I do 3 tablespoons of yogurt per quart of cream, and then I put it in the dehydrator at 100 degrees for 24 hours, and that's all I do.
Link that. Oh, you
It
link that, I
isn't
guess.
like, what do
She'll
I
be.
link?
How about we'll go to the next question? Hey, Wild Coffee Homestead's in the house.
I know. I've
see you guys.
seen them.
Rebecca will link our kit because Scott Burton mentioned our filmmaking kit. I have a kit that lists everything I use for filmmaking. The first 9 items on that filmmaking list are things I use every day. I bring that up to say we also have our
What was I
milking
linking?
kit. So link the kit where it has our milk processing stuff in it.
Okay.
Where you have the cream separator. But basically, once she has it into cream, she just sets it in a food dehydrator at 100. Well, she puts 3 tablespoons of our yogurt in the cream, a quart of cream. She puts 3 tablespoons of our yogurt, stirs it, puts it in a dehydrator on 105 degrees or 100. 105 degrees for 24 hours. Okay. That's it. Takes it out and puts it in the fridge. So easy, I could do it. Okay, how's Ginger doing, they say?
Okay.
For those of you who don't know, oh, look, Ken beat you to it. He posted the link.
Okay.
Those are all my kits, Ken. Thank you. That's appropriate. So you guys can go there and see everything from what I use for raising pigs, chickens, filmmaking, bathtub books. That needs updated, by the way.
It does. Okay, so Ginger is actually doing okay. We've been in touch with her obviously quite a bit since we've been at her house every day for the last 4 days. But even before then, we're texting and calling and, continuing to have that relationship with her. And it's hard, moving forward. It's been 4 weeks today, I think he passed. So it's hard because it's like a new normal and there's a lot of unknowns coming into it. But at the same time, I feel like she's doing really well. And again, we had time to prepare for this. I didn't think that we didn't. I honestly thought it would be coming up, that he would be passing away this week. I thought that he would hold on till Thanksgiving because he loves it so much. So we thought that we might have had a little bit longer with him, but at the same time, we all knew that this was going to be happening sooner than later. So it's a little bit easier because you can prepare for it. But Ginger's doing good. She's her granddaughter has moved in with her, so she's not alone, which is really good. And she's just moving forward with this new normal. So did you want to say something?
Well, no, 2 more questions. Well, I was going to say Ginger seems to be keeping herself busy with her many children and grandchildren.
She has 4 children and a
Very
bunch of
involved with her grandchildren and her dog, and that keeps her busy. We planted a tree with her for my dad.
Yeah,
Was that yesterday?
It was yesterday.
It was a whirlwind yesterday. Okay. It seems like you got 2 more questions. The last one is hopefully going to be a conversation starter, and we'll close the show with that one and talk for a little bit with it. We'll get y'all's input on it too. But first, it seems like you guys get a ton of milk and eggs. What do you do with the extra? Full disclaimer, we do not get a lot of eggs right now during winter because the lack of daylight, it's totally normal for chickens to slow down. We actually buy pastured organic eggs in the store right now this time of year. really, we should probably be taking a break from eggs and eat less. But
Well,
it's
I
just,
think that's something we could do. I think that with the holidays and like with everything that's been going on in the month, I feel like I keep using
Yeah.
this as an excuse. Like the month of November was the beginning of a grief journey. October was like preparing for it.
yeah.
And before that was just insanity. So I feel like
But-
we haven't, stopped or whatever. But
Extra eggs are great to, if we had extra eggs, they'd be great to mix in with the chicken feed. It's wonderful feed for them. It's a great source of protein. If you have other animals like pigs, it's a no-brainer. Milk, the extra milk, that's why we're getting pigs next week. It's like we hated just feeding this. You could soak chicken feed in it, feed in your milk. You could, and that's definitely skim milk. Like we'll have 5 gallons of skim milk every week. And they say, if done right, you can feed 1 pig off of 1 cow, and that would be the manure, that would be the skim milk, and I guess in the pasture with what the cows aren't eating. So we got 2 pigs because it's like, what are we gonna do with this milk? When we didn't have the pigs, we would actually water that milk down and spread it on the pasture. You could put it in the garden, so it's a good organic material
really good for
that you can
the
add to the
pastures.
soil. So it's a good fertilizer, and it's good organic material and food for the soil.
So I guess this could be though, like when we do have extra eggs, what do we do with them? We eat them.
We froze some. We scrambled some and froze some.
We did.
But I would just give them to the chickens if we had
if
that
we had that
extra.
many, but we just
started
give them
freezing some.
away if that's not
Yeah.
much of a problem. But
Yeah.
we do we did cure some yolks this year too, which was interesting, and we grated it on soup and salad and stuff like that, and I thought they tasted delicious.
Yeah.
So
Do we have anything else before we get to this final question?
no, I don't
Okay.
think so.
Hey there, I live in middle of corporate farming USA. Wait till you hear this, guys. From a feedlot 1.5 miles away that feeds out 72,000 heads of cattle a year. 72,000. Justin, what is the great flavor in the pork? Oh, we feed the cow. Funny. Okay. 72,000 head of cattle, driving distance to the largest pivot irrigation manufacturers in the world. And yes, my next door neighbor's son-in-law is the head of security at Monsanto. How do you stay motivated to do the things the way you do? Is this person on here? I'm gonna give it a minute to see if this guy or gal is on here. So guys, how do you stay motivated? How do you stay motivated to do what you do? It sounds like this person is surrounded by big ag, and it seems defeating, and it seems like they're outnumbered, and we're outnumbered.
Yeah,
I mean, if I were to say this guy had 72 cows, we'd all freak out in this show.
72,000 is a lot.
I wouldn't even know how to tell him how to manage 72 cows. We're talking like we have 5, and that seems big. But Levi Harvest admits that he's in the same boat. I'll tell you our story about traveling America and seeing Big Ag in a minute, but I want to see what you guys have to say about it. So Wild Coffee Hempstead says he does it for his family. That reminds Cindy does. I just like good fresh food. It's all about taste here. So, so that's a very my world, our world, and that's a good perspective, I think, because as Joel Salatin would say, which he's read the book 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, he'll talk about the realm of influence. We went to a Joel Salatin show a number of years ago, and somebody asked him what he thought about chemtrails. Well, he said he brought up the Stephen Covey answer. He focuses on his realm of influence. This stuff may or may not be happening, but he really can't control it, and he's going to just focus on his realm of influence. Joel has a pretty good big range of influence, but it's maybe not it's not at that level, but so he's focusing on what he can influence.
Yeah.
Read some of what folks have said, Rebecca.
Um,
I can't keep up. People
okay.
are really piping in.
Do it for your family.
I read that one.
We're doing it for our health. I don't know how I would handle it. Just keep to your principles.
It's okay, Amy Lynn. Better late than never.
Starfish theory: for every pig we raise on the pasture, for every chicken that isn't in a cage, for every customer at the farmer's market, it matters to this one. And that's good. Yeah,
Wow.
because it's like there's that story where the person's like trying to throw the starfish back in to the ocean.
It was the
and
granddad and the grandson.
Yeah, and the older gentleman's like, well, why
Oh,
are you doing
the
this? You're not
kid is-
making a difference. And he's like, well, I am to this one, and threw it in, and then just
Mm-hmm.
keeps doing that, and it does have a huge impact overall. Okay, we see it as being good stewards and doing what is right, even though others may not. Circle of influence, circle of concern. And then someone said that they like the starfish theories, and then Quentin says it matters to me and my family.
Yeah, so
It does matter to me and my family. That's one thing, people will say, "Oh, well, I don't do this because those people don't care." I'm like, I don't care if those people care. I care. And that's why I do the things that I do. I don't do it for anybody else. I do it for us. And I do it for hoping that we are somehow healing this land and healing the earth and being a part of that. Because if everybody does that on their little piece of land, just imagine how much that's going to be exponentially whatever. I don't know what I'm saying there. You're not helping me.
I'm not helping you.
It's gonna be exponential if everybody does just their part, and I think too that everybody's why is different, and that's okay.
I'm going to give everybody a link to a video I made while on the farm tour. I visited I'm just putting the link in the video right now. I just catch these comments as I talk, Rebecca.
Okay.
So, traveling across America on the Great American Farm Tour, if you don't know, we went to all 50 states, discovering and highlighting the greatest farms in America. They were so we would pass miles and miles of cornfields. We would pass feedlots. We would drive by at 9 o'clock and see the automatic one night at night, almost before dark. The automatic spinner where the milk cows are walking in and they're spinning around and getting milk, and we smelling it and it stinks. Well, there was one particular farm that, what was her name? We went there, it was in the video. We went there and she was
Deborah
Neiman.
It
It was in Indiana or somewhere. Where was that?
It was in Illinois.
So,
I'm pretty sure it was in Illinois.
just kind of rolling terrain, but just cornfields or soy fields everywhere. And all of a sudden, not in this one little area. There were wild birds, there were different plants, there were goats, and there was chickens, and there was lush grass, and there was this diversity. There was even a peacock on her car. You'll have to go watch the video to see the peacock on her car. And I began to realize that we're passing all this big ag and we're seeing all this big ag, 72,000 cows, but we're also going to these meetups where 100 people would show up and talk with us and talk about what they're doing on their farms, and we did all these videos called "What's Your Name and What You Growing." Well, if we could take all those people, those 100 people, or if we could take the 42 people on here live right now and actually combine us all together, sure, it may not be 72,000 cows, but maybe if you took all our 500,000 subscribers that at some point take an interest in our show and took what they were doing and put it all together, and we could see it all at once, it would be pretty big.
It would be a lot.
It would be pretty big, and then we would have some hope of some sense of competing, if you will, with that, fighting that. And another hope is that we hadn't been to Walmart in probably 10 years before we went on the Great American Farm Tour, and then all of a sudden Walmart became our best friend, because where else could you go to get an oil filter and diapers? And we found out kombucha.
Yeah, you can
And other
buying our
organics food.
kombucha.
Who knew that Walmart had organics? And do you think it's because Sam Walton cares? Do you think he cares about the people's health? It's the
dollar-
dollar
it's the dollar
bills.
bills.
It's the dollar bills. People are voting with their dollar bills. Organic food industry is the fastest growing food industry right now. And you look at Amazon acquiring Whole Foods. It's not because Jeff Bezos is all about it and wanting to try to beat the man, right? No, it's where the dollar bills are. And that's because people are finally saying, I'm going to vote with my dollar, and I'm going to spend my money on the cleanest, purest things I can. Is organic perfect? No. But people are saying, these people are trying, this is where I'm going to put my money, right?
Yeah.
It's the next best thing. Maybe it's not perfect. So he buys organic grass-fed burger at Walmart. Thank you, Ken. And so what do you think Sam Walton's going to say? Oh, well, maybe we should put some organic pastured rotisserie birds in there, right? Maybe we should do like Whole Foods and offer organic rotisserie chickens. And then you see how it's going to progress? And then it's going to be pastured organic rotisserie chickens, see?
Okay, so this is what some people are saying. My husband works with Big Ag. We've had interesting conversations. Thankfully, he can see the good that is happening in our family and can appreciate all forms of caring for the land and animals. Ken says you have to do it for yourself. If you are trying to do it for somebody else, it can be easy to quit when it gets hard. And that is really true. Nick says, yes, being good stewards of what we have and can do. Cheryl says good grassland sequesters carbon, helps global warming. Amy Lynn Caspar says the philosophy my granddaughter's teacher has with the kids is be a leader, i.e. do what is right, not what others are doing. And then Wolf liked that. And Daniel had to throw in that Illinois is pretty flat.
Thanks, Daniel, for that sharp observation.
And then
there,
somebody else was like, I think Delaware might have a bit on that. I thought we would never get out of there while we were there. And then we're up to date on comments on that.
Well, it didn't take you too long to get through Delaware, did it?
No.
Or did they live in Delaware?
I think they lived in it. I think they lived in
Well, I wish you would have applied to be on the farm tour.
I know.
It wouldn't have mattered if you could have just had
2 chickens.
or a basil plant in your windowsill. We'd come see you.
We would have come.
You
to
could have had a
Delaware.
dream. You could have had a drawing of a chicken, and we would have come see
been
you.
like, we're coming.
And be like, I want to have chickens one day. Well, we come see you because nobody applied in Delaware. Nobody applied in New Jersey. Nobody applied in pigs in every subdivision.
That would
they
be
say.
funny.
All right. Well,
Someone said, "Why worry about them? Just be you." I think the thing is that it's sometimes really hard to go against the grain.
and it affects us. It does, because they're polluting. They're destroying the water
Yeah.
table. I mean,
I mean, as Adam had his whole garden destroyed twice.
If our neighbors are spraying they think it looks better to spray the bank instead of string trimming the bank of its grass. They spray it with God knows what Roundup, probably.
I'm sure it's Roundup.
Really,
Like,
and,
it
and
looks
then it's all
better.
brown. It doesn't look any better. And guess where those poisons are going? They're going down into the ditch, into the water, into the soil, and then all of a sudden you got to get your water tested to see if you have poisons in your well water. So,
Yeah.
and people say, what would you look for in another property? I'd look to be on top of the spring, like at the spring head.
At the spring head.
I don't want to be below anybody else's property. It's that sad. And then the pollution in the air, what are we going to do about that?
Yeah, actually, this is a very
You have
interesting
heavy
story.
metals in your body.
Well, this is a really interesting. Well, and because of that, my doctor wanted me to test the water,
Yeah.
our water, and I was like, okay, but it's scary to think of that because, like, what is in our water? And actually, one time, and this is crazy. I was at a nail salon. I know it's crazy, but I did that back in the day. And this lady was telling me that she was from New Jersey, and she was like, you don't know what's in your water? And I was like, I'm pretty sure I know what's in
Yeah.
my water. And she's like, you don't know who's dumping chemicals on your land? I'm
That's
like,
right.
I'm pretty sure I know no one's dumping chemicals on my
Well-
land. But we did have our water tested, and it was really good. And we have friends in other states who have reached out to me and said, who tested your water? Because I feel like I might need to test
Yeah.
mine, because we do have Big Ag around us. I mean, they have a sizable chunk of land, but it
Yeah.
can get into the water table.
Well, if you were at my dad's house, you couldn't grow corn because you would have a GMO cornfield next to you that would cross-pollinate with your corn, with your organic corn.
Well, and your
And,
brother, when he grew the organic corn in that field, the raccoons ate all of it.
Oh, I know.
And they didn't eat any of
Raccoons
the
know better.
the crap
Even the raccoons know
across the
better.
creek.
So you guys got to start on that. And that was a wonderful question. We don't think it was a stupid question.
No.
We just think it does affect us, and that's what's so disturbing about it. And that's why what Stephen Covey would call the circle of concern. This is why we're concerned about even what other peoples are doing, because it does affect us. And it's very sad, but we can get all stressed and worried and bent out of shape about it. But what good's that going to do? No, the best we can do is, we talk about going off grid and being eco that way. Well, if we're growing our own food, we're not calling on trucks to haul our food from God knows where.
Yeah.
We're not calling on planes to haul our food from God knows where. So we're doing what we can.
Yeah, I think that's
And-
it. Just do what you can and don't stress about the things you can't.
And
Because stress is super harmful to your health than the actual toxic thing.
in our movie,
So-
we highlighted you liking our water so much, and our water became famous because you liked it so much. Every time
It's
we'd come home, you'd go
delicious.
straight to our water. But I don't know if we did a good job painting that. Why you were so excited about that is because we couldn't.
didn't.
It was so very hard to find clean water in America.
Well,
It was chlorinated, fluorinated.
fluorinated, yeah.
And
we
even
could
if we had
only
to buy it at Whole Foods, it was, what do you call it?
reverse osmosis.
And there's no minerals or anything in it. It's like terrible. So
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I do wonder. I sometimes wonder about the tour and how it did really affect my health, and was it all these things? Like our well water is very high in minerals, and was that something that, because I was drinking reverse osmosis water on the tour for like 10 months?
Yeah.
I mean, we would get well water in certain places that people had their water tested, and it was,
Yeah.
really good water, and we would fill up there, but
Yes, I
it's
like-
far and few between. But anyway, so I wonder, like, was it a mineral depletion? Was it this? Was it that? Was it the stress? Because stress is super bad for you.
Yeah. So
Covey
thank you, Quentin, for the
emphasizes-
insight on that. So yeah, and somebody mentioned guys. We're gonna have to wrap this up in like 2
We
minutes.
are.
So somebody emphasized that I don't even remember what they emphasized. Oh, they said get the Berkey water filters. So that's a perfect example of we have this concern. Mm-hmm. Let's buy a Berkey.
Yeah, the Berkeys
That's my
are
circle
on
of
sale right
influence.
now.
Companies are going to see Berkey sales improve and increase, and maybe eventually it's going to get to the water company and the government saying people want clean water. Let's give it to them.
Well, yeah,
If
and
we
I mean,
demand it enough, the companies are going to follow the dollar bills. If we put our dollar bills towards Berkey's, towards us appreciating where we are, just because one huge reason is because it's clean water.
I
If people
know.
start valuing properties with clean water, what will you see? You'll see people like we were going to do a detailing for our car, but then we're like a mobile detailing. Well, then they're going to come here with all their poisons.
I'm like, mm-mm.
Well, we're like, there's actually an eco
There's
one
the
with like all
eco-friendly
earth-friendly
mobile.
stuff. And so it's like when we put our money there, then those people are first of all getting paid for having a right livelihood and not destroying the earth.
Yeah.
But then other people are going to follow suit. There's going to be more of that.
There'll be demand for it. So
Yep. So we'll have to end it there, guys. We love you guys. Thank you for being a member.
Yes.
Thank you for being a lively group. We had some wonderful questions. We had some great questions in live chat. It's so cool to come and I just feel like we're hanging out and just talking with you guys now. We've been doing this now. How long have we been doing these webinars? Anyway, it's been great.
we've been doing it for a while, and
Like a
honestly,
year-ish.
we love it.
We look forward to it. We won't
It's
have
not
it
like,
in a couple
we
of
have a
weeks.
webinar tonight. It's
Are-
like, oh, we get to do a webinar.
Are we Sunday in a couple of weeks, or is it going to be Monday? Do we make a note to
No,
that?
so we are actually not having it in 2 weeks from today. It's going to be 3 weeks from today
Okay.
because we're going to be on vacation.
Okay. So we're gonna.
So
make
we're going
up
to do it the
in 3 weeks.
22nd of December, and we will have Mike and Lacey here.
Okay.
Fit Farmer and his family will be here, joining us for that, and then they're going to spend the night with us, which will be fun.
Okay. All right. Good.
So
We enjoyed this, guys. Thank you, Cindy, for all your input and hanging out with us. It was fun. Dale, it was good to have you on here, and Wolf and Scott Burton. Always good to see you, buddy. Levi's Harvest, thanks again for joining. Liz and Scott, David Jackson, thank you for your input tonight. It was wonderful. Amy Lynn, you were a wonderful contributor. Our Forever
Yes,
Homestead
thanks.
up here and participating. Missy, thank you and good night.
Yes.
Nick and Ken, of course. Love you too, buddy. Christy, you also have a great weekend. We will see you guys.
A great week.
Oh,
'Cause it's
week.
Sunday.
That's true. That's true.
And Part Time Permies is
Okay,
doing a 9
yeah.
p.m. show, so
All
go
right.
see them.
Enjoy that show.